With Yelan's banner coming a few days from now, you might have been like me and missed her banner due to Kazuha's first rerun, but here's why I think you should pick her up. Hydro is one of the most important elements in the game. It opened up so many different elemental reactions such as Vaporize, Electrocharge, Freeze, Bloom, such as Bountiful Cores, Hyper Bloom, and Burgeon. This is one of the main reasons why we should get her. She specializes in off-field, hydro application, and damage support using her burst. She pairs well with so many characters, maybe with the exception of some charge attack type characters. Yes, I'm talking about you, Hu Tao, but works wonders with more popular builds like Yoimiya and Hu Tao. And she also pairs well with other characters like the Wanderer, Sino, and Alhaitham to name a few. And before you say that we already have Shinsho, why do we need to get Yelan too? Well, you can't just use Shinsho in both teams in Abyss, so having another off-field hydro support is definitely a solid choice. There's an argument to be made with the fact that Yelan doesn't provide any healing or resistance to interruption like Shinsho does, but she does make up for it in a little bit of grouping and just more damage overall. But wait, there's more! Her Ascension passive also gives a damage increase buff over time, making her provide even more supportive capabilities. And if you just want to have fun, you can even slot both Shinsho and Yelan together for some epic off-field hydro application. You can use her skill in two ways. You can tap it, which will let her dash in the direction she's facing, and holding it down will let you travel for a longer duration and distance. Once you're in this state, you can mark several enemies with this skill, and once done, this will cause hydro damage to all linked enemies. You can also control the length of time you're in the rapid movement state simply by releasing the skill when you want it to end. She also has a special talent called the Breakthrough Barb. You get this whenever you're out of combat for a few seconds. Once active, the draw time for Charge Shot, which deals AoE hydro damage, is greatly reduced. And along with the rest of her kit, this also scales off her max HP. Pairing that with the recent buff to the Hydro Elemental Resonance, it just makes her even better since most of her kit scales off of HP. So exactly how do you build her? Well, for starters, you'd want to have as much HP on her, so you can finally put those HP percent artifacts to good use. Just like Shinsho, you'd want to build her with Emblem of Severed Fate. Not only does it provide a 20% energy recharge bonus, it also boosts her burst damage significantly. For the main stats, for the Sands, go for HP percent or energy recharge. As a lone Hydro character in your team, aim for around 200% or more, but if you have another Hydro character in the team, or other Favonius wielding characters, you can go for around 160%. For the Goblet, go for Hydro damage bonus. And for the Circlet, go for crit rate or crit damage depending on what gets you that 1:2 ratio. As for the substats, go for HP percent, ER, crit rate, or crit damage. She's also very versatile in her weapon choices as well. Of course, her signature weapon, Aqua Simulacra, would be the best, but she also works great with 4-star and even 3-star options. With the 4-star weapons, you can go for Favonius Warbow to give her more ER and additional battery support to your other characters. But if someone else is using it, you can also go with a Sacrificial Bow to let her use her skill twice. You can also use a Stringless, which will boost her damage for Vaporize, Electrocharge, and Bloom and Bountiful Bloom reactions. Or if you have the Battle Pass weapon, Viridescent Hunt, you can also use that as a crit rate stat stick. As for the 3-star options, go for Recurve Bow to beef her HP up even more, and in turn, more DPS. Or you can also use the Slingshot for more crit rate. For her talents, you only really need to level up her skill and burst. You can leave her normal attack at level 1. And if you want to check out the materials you need for her, to max her out at level 90 with level 10 skill and burst, here's what you'll need. Feel free to pause the video so that you can copy it, or you can just check it yourself by going to the enhancement calculator from HoYoLab. The link will be in the description down below. As for her teams, she is very versatile and fits in almost any team. One of my favorites right now, which is the Hyper Bloom team, where Yelan is the Hydro Applicator and revolves around a Dendro character like DMC, Nahida, or Kole. You also need an Electro character like Kuki Shinobu or Raiden Shogun, who will trigger the Hyper Bloom, and a flex spot. There's also the Burgeon team, where you swap out the Electro character for someone like Thoma to let you deal AoE damage with Exploding Bloom Seeds. Other Dendro related reactions like the more recent Quick Bloom, which involves Alhaitham, Yelan, and Kuki Shinobu, plus a flex spot, which could be a Dendro, Hydro, or Electro character. This team lets you deal both quick hit related reactions, which are spread and aggravate, while also allowing you to trigger Hyper Bloom for a constant flow of damage. There's also a Vaporize comp revolving around using either Hu Tao, Yoimiya, or Xiangling as your main Pyro character, adding in Shinsho being another off-field Hydro applicator, and a flex spot. You can put a Shielder for damage mitigation and resistance to interruption, or another Pyro character like Xin Yan for that double Pyro, double Hydro elemental resonance. You can also pair her up with Ayaka for freeze-related comp, along with a Nemo support for Swirl and crowd control to pull them in together, and Diona as your Shielder and healer. And finally, you can also pair her up with electro characters like Fischl and Beidou, adding in Sucrose for swirl and crowd control, or a fun taser comp with Sucrose being your main driver. There are many more different teams that you can build around her, since her ult allows you to be off-field while still applying Hydro, so have fun experimenting the teams you want to try out. Among all the different reasons why you should pull for her, this is definitely one of my favorites. Her overworld use is just unparalleled. Using her skill makes her the fastest character in the game, and it makes exploration a lot faster and a lot more fun. With so many characters in the roster having limited time banners, we might not see her for quite a while, so better to pick her up now before it's too late. And if you haven't decided who to pull for between Yelan or Hu Tao, and you can only pull for one, I definitely recommend Yelan, just because of how she fits so well in so many different teams. But hey, if you can pull for both, go for it. Are you going to be pulling for her just like I am? Let me know in the comments down below. I've been itching for her return, and I'll make sure to get her this time around. This is Vice. I make guides and entertaining content about Genshin Impact, so feel free to subscribe as well. Like this if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it. If you want to see another one of my videos, click right here in the middle. Thank you for watching. Peace out, fam.